If you ignore these 5 tips, you will be missing out on your full potential you have when playing football. But if you follow these tips and are super mindful of them, then they could be the difference between you riding the bench or you becoming a starter. So don't miss out. These aren't your everyday tips. These are like a little unusual, I would say. And I wish I had this video to help me whenever I was in high school, because these are things that can actually help you and that aren't talked about as much when it comes to really trying to be the best football player you can possibly be. And after this video, you can go and apply this information super quick. And you're gonna think they're a little unusual at first, but I'm telling you, you follow these, they'll get you right. The last 2 tips I'm gonna give you are probably the most significant ones in this whole video and really in the whole sport, because those will make you be able to play for a super long time. Tip number 1, eat your carbs. I know there's no way that you were gonna be able to guess this tip, but the reason why I'm making this number 1 is because a lot of football players, especially around my age or sometimes younger, they focus on just building muscle and getting big and making sure they look good at the same time, and they'll just neglect their carbs and only focus on the protein. And I used to do this too. I used to focus on just how much calories, how much protein I would take in, and I was taking in the right amount of protein, but I wasn't really being mindful of my carbs. And the problem with not being mindful of your carb intake is the fact that carbs fuel how athletic your body is. They fuel your fast twitch muscle fibers, your joints, your ligaments. That's what makes you explosive. And a lot of athletes, I would say in high school, definitely don't know about that. And so if I could go back in high school, I would eat a whole lot of white rice, sweet potatoes. I would eat a whole lot of that, way more of that than protein, especially in season. Out of season too, because it gets you more explosive. Like really, truly it does. And if you're going to workouts tired and you feel slow, you might not be eating too much carbs. You might just be neglecting it. So find how much carbs you need to be the most efficient on the field. And the way I find this out is I find how much kilograms I weigh and I times it by 6 or by 7. And that's how many grams of carbs I should eat. And that's how much I eat on days I work out. Tip number 2, this comes off of what I just kind of touched on with the carbs, and that's don't be a weight room warrior. I play with too many dudes that I will go in the weight room with, and they could be my position or they could be like a linebacker, and they would lift so much more than me. They would squat, they would bench so much more than me. But when we got on the field, they just weren't like that. They were not making the same plays I was making. They were in the weight room screaming, saying, "Let's go, let's go, let's go." But on the field, they're getting torched every play. They're getting pancaked. They're going in for arm tackles. You gotta understand the balance between weight room and football. You gotta ask yourself, do you wanna be a good football player or do you wanna be a bodybuilder? You can't, it's 2 different things. 2 different things. So if you're watching this channel and if you come here on a daily basis or whenever I upload, chances are you wanna be a better football player. And to be a better football player, we need to focus on mastering our sport and just developing athleticism. And a lot of these traditional lifts like squats, bench, deadlifts, hang cleans, those are all Olympic lifts. Though they have no correlation to how good you can be on the field. No correlation. Yeah, you can see Saquon Barkley, he's going crazy right now in the league. He squats like 600, but you did see that he was injury prone, right? He was injury prone some years before. Then you look at Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is probably top 2 receivers in the league right now. You think he can squat 500? You think he can squat as much as Saquon Barkley? To get the stats that Justin Jefferson has, to get all the catches, to run routes like him, squatting 500 pounds is not mandatory. It's not. What's mandatory is mastering your position and becoming the best athlete you can possibly be. And the way you should lift weights is not how a lot of coaches teach you. All you really got to do is 1 to 2 days in the weight room and be super intense, and then that's it. work every muscle in your body in the weight room and be super intense in those 2 days. And then you don't have to lift the rest of the week. You can just focus on football or other sports. So don't be a weight room warrior. Master your technique. Play other sports. The best way you can get better at being a good athlete, the best way you can become more athletic is literally doing stuff against people, playing soccer against people. I saw somebody had commented on my video saying you should encourage football players to play soccer. Bro, soccer is one of the best things you can do for agility. It's one-on-ones, basketball one-on-ones, football one-on-ones. Anything that you're going against somebody, whether you're playing tag, and somebody's trying to get you and you got to get away from them, you got to juke them, bro. That's the best stuff to do. Sometimes that stuff is better than the cone drills that y'all do. So go against somebody instead of putting your main focus on the weight room. Okay, tip number 3, have a clear mind. Bro, my mindset was terrible in high school. It was awful, and I was always making things bigger than what it seemed. Taking the fact that whenever I got put on varsity, I was so overwhelmed, and I was thinking about so much dumb stuff that didn't even apply. I wasn't playing free on the field. I was the best athlete I ever was at that point in time. But I sucked because I was just overthinking about every single move I did. And you need to learn how to have a clear mind. And I have a course that teaches you how to do this. It's how I figured out how to clear my mindset up. And the very next year, I had the best year of my life. And ever since then, I've been just exponentially growing as a football player and just as a person, bro. So your mindset, I know we probably hear that a lot as football players and on the internet. It really is true. You just got to take action to build it, and you have to take time out of your day to develop a strong mind. So have a clear mind, learn how to meditate, learn how to visualize, learn how to think for your own, go on walks. All of that will help you be a better football player. I guarantee you, because it helped me. Now we're in the last two. The last two I said were super significant, and this one is very important, and it's remembering your why. I've had too many friends that I grew up with that just stopped playing football because the coaches made them not have fun anymore. And they almost did the same thing with me. Before my senior year, I almost quit. When I played football my whole life, I almost quit because I didn't find it fun anymore, and I let my emotions get the best of me, and I let the coaches make it seem not fun. But I had to learn how to think from my own and remember why I'm playing the sport, and it's because it's fun. It's because I love catching the football. I love running routes, and I love catching the football. The most basic thing about playing receiver, I love that so much. And I can go up any day of the week, Monday through Monday. I can go outside and I can throw the ball with my friends, with my family. Bro, I can do that all day just because I love it. And whenever you forget the reason why you're playing the sport, or the reason why you're going so hard, that's when things can start to fall apart. And it doesn't have to be because you love it. It can be for other reasons, like you need to make money for your family, or you want a better life for your family. Bro, I'm the same way. Bro, after some heartbreaks from girls, bro, I went the hardest. And you got to keep that in the back of your mind whenever you're training, whenever you're on the field, you're getting ready to go play. Remember what it is that keeps you going. Remember all the times that people did you wrong. Remember all of that, because that's what I do. And once I think of all the times I've been done wrong and all the opportunities that they gave other people and they didn't give me, bro, that pisses me off, bro. Like, real talk, bro. That should piss you off. Because I know you've been in certain situations where you believe you deserve something, and then you don't get it. And I know that pisses you off, because it pisses me off, and I've been in so much dumbass situations, bro. I've been in so much situations, and that's what I think every time I'm on the field. And that helps me play with just a killer mind, killer instinct, and that's how you should play. Whenever I play football, I pair the things that make me mad. I think of the moments and how it felt when people did me wrong. And then I think of how much I love the game, and I don't think anybody can stop me whenever I'm in that state of mind. That's just my personal opinion, really. So you gotta find out what that is, and you gotta be mindful that every time It's time to perform against somebody. It can be multiple things, it can be one thing, but you got to remember what it is. Whenever you think of it, that's when you're really at your best and you're in a flow state, having that in the back of your mind. And the last thing, this thing right here will bail you out. No matter how good you are, how athletic you are, any position, whether you play O-line or safety or receiver corner, this will bail you out, and that's how fast you are. I've had safeties and corners. I've gone against so many good football players and so many football players that weren't that good. And so one thing I realized is that if you got speed, bro, colleges will offer you so fast. If you can develop that speed and show it on the field, you will get offered so fast. There's this safety I used to go against all the time. I'm not going to name his name, but he was always like super fast, super athletic, but he couldn't guard me. He couldn't guard me at all. And I mean, he would have D1 offers, and I didn't really have any D1 offers coming out of high school. But every time he lined up in front of me, whenever we'll be training, bro, I cooked him every single time. But the thing is, he was super fast and super athletic that he was getting offers from D1 schools because that's what they look at. And I know y'all see Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill can just run past people on the field. He doesn't really have to do too much work with his releases. He can just boom and go, chatter his feet and go. The faster you are, the less you really have to work on your technique. Like, obviously we got to know how to get in and out of breaks, because it's not just a straight line track. That's not what football is. But I know y'all have gone against some linebackers or some D linemen that are just way faster than everybody else, and that's annoying to go against, because you see a D lineman but he's athletic as one of your receivers. So speed will bail you out. And whenever I figured this out, that's when I really got my speed in check. At the beginning of high school, I ran a 5.1 40, and at the end of my senior year, I ran a 4.4 laser. You can get your speed down, and I have a course that literally teaches you how to do that while teaching you how to lift right and how to look good at the same time. Like, it teaches you all of that, less than $40. Bro, invest in yourself. I'm not saying you have to invest in me, but invest in a trainer, invest in something that you think will get you better. I did it, and I'm right now I'm the most explosive I've ever been. I know the importance of speed in football. And if you have no idea how to do this, how to implement these tips, or have any questions that you want to ask me one-on-one, go ahead, book a call with me in the description below, and we can talk about your situation. I can talk about everything that I can help you with. Your training, your technique, anything regarding football or mindset or anything. I can help you out. All you got to do is book a call with me. Or if you're interested in the courses I have on little specific things, go ahead, look at those. And if you want to learn how to apply all these information even more and how to really clear things up and not overwhelm your mind, watch this video right here.